What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's RFG back at it today, and I'm here to go over something that I feel is very important for not only my subscribers, but all of humanity. All right. Now, before I get started, I'm just going to make this statement and make it very clear that I feel as if this society, okay, the so-called U.S., United States, and Zionist Jesuit supremacy has caused, most humans to conduct themselves in a completely clueless, brain-dead, retarded manner that goes directly against the natural order of nature. And not only that, okay, it has actually endangered many lives of the people that are subjugated to this society that is completely ass backwards. And when you basically look at it in a nutshell, it makes this society look like nothing but a mental asylum. This society that we are all forced to endure in the United States and Europe especially, all right? It is nothing but a goddamn mental asylum. That's really what it is. We are forced to go against our own God-given common sense. We are forced to go against our own spiritual intuition. We are forced to go and live our lives against nature. All right? Now I'm going to start this video off by showing a certain picture after this. And I just want to say, this society is nothing but a goddamn mental asylum. Okay? Because if I were ever to get a hold of a jaguar, if a person like me were ever to get a hold of a jaguar and take blood from the jaguar, take it back to a lab, all right, and splice the jaguar's genetics to make the genetics weaker and mutate the genetics so I can so-called domesticate the jaguar, and I would keep this jaguar in my home, okay? And if my domesticated jaguar killed, mauled, and ate innocent children in my home, this is what would happen to me, okay? I would be right behind bars, and I might actually be brought up on enough charges to be executed and shot by a goddamn firing squad, okay? That's what would happen to RFG if I would ever domesticate a wild cat, all right? A wild predator cat, and splice and mutate the genetics to domesticate it and keep it in my home, encourage other people to keep it in their homes, and when the domesticated jaguar mauled and ate children in the neighborhood, I would defend the jaguar more than I would defend the child who was killed and murdered. Okay? So I want all of you fucking brain dead dog worshipping idiots. I want all of you brain dead dog worshipping idiots to explain to me what is the difference between what I just told you and what goes on in our everyday society. Because in our everyday society, there are hundreds of thousands of cases of mutated wolves going out in the neighborhoods, okay? And people who own mutated wolves that attack, maul, and murder innocent people and children every goddamn day. Okay? All right? And guess what? There are no laws set in place that make it illegal to own one of these mutated wolves. So what do I mean by somebody owning a mutated wolf? A wolf with mutated genetics. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these domesticated dogs you see in front of you are, without a doubt, mutated, genetically grafted wolves. Okay? All right? These are genetically mutated, genetically grafted wolves. That's why they're called domesticated. Anything that is domesticated is not natural and is not of nature. All right? And that goes for domesticated cats as well. And I broke that down in previous videos. But unlike the domesticated dog, the domesticated cat actually has an active pineal gland. All right? And I'm going to touch on that later. But like I said, hundreds of millions, no, I want to say 90 million, over 90 million Americans own mutated wolves. Okay? They have accepted mutated wolves, mutant wolves, into their homes. All right? And they want us to believe that these mutated beasts are supposed to somehow be man's best friend. That's utter bullshit. The mutated wolf is the caveman's best friend. All right? Look at this creature with skin hanging off of its face. Tell me what fucking purpose that's supposed to serve in nature. Dog lovers, what purpose is this supposed to serve in nature when the fucking skin off of your eyebrow and off of your forehead is blocking your fucking vision, and the excess skin is dripping off of your face, okay? Which is basically a hindrance to the entire function of your face. All right? How is this supposed to help the dog in nature? It's not. It's a fucking hindrance because the domesticated dogs are mutants. They are mutants. And it's about to be exposed through photographic documented evidence in this video, because you guys already know I don't talk out of the side of my neck and I don't talk out of my ass. Okay? So like I said, if I were to take a wild jaguar and genetically alter it to so-called domesticated, which is really just fucking up its genetics to make, turning it into a mutant, and bringing the jaguar in my home and, letting the jaguar do all the human things that humans are supposed to do. And when the jaguar attacks and kills my fucking child, or attacks and kills someone else's child, I do what I can to defend the jaguar. I blame the child and not the jaguar for mauling the child and killing and eating the child. And not only that, I go into the government to pass laws to protect the domesticated jaguar. That is how insane, that is exactly how insane dog lovers and dog owners are. Okay? Plain and fucking simple. And this is going to be one of my first points to proving that the domesticated dog is not a natural animal to the earth. All right? I want anyone watching this video to show me when in history do any of these domesticated dog species, these domesticated dog breeds, when have you ever seen them leave their owner, and attempt to live in nature. When have you ever seen one of these domesticated dogs try to leave their owner and go in nature, go back out in the wilderness in nature, to live in nature after they leave their owners? All right? If a domesticated dog is natural, wouldn't it want to live with its fucking mother species out in nature? If the domesticated dog is natural? Come on, folks. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why zoo animals, when they escape the zoo, they try to go back to nature. When the wild animals of nature, when they escape the zoos, when they leave zoos, they're trying to escape captivity to go back out into their natural habitat in nature. So if these fucking mutants that you love so much, if they're so natural, why don't they ever attempt to go back to nature and live amongst their mother species, if that's where they really come from, and if that's who they really are, and if that's where they really want to be? If nature is where these mutants really want to be, why don't you ever see them trying to flee back to nature, if that's where they really come from, folks? That's a simple question. That is a simple question, and I'm going to answer your simple question. The domesticated, mutated wolf, known as a dog, is never going to try to live among the natural animals in nature. Okay? Because these particular species that are considered domesticated, all species of dogs that are considered domesticated, had their genetics grafted and spliced thousands of years ago. And this grafting process, okay, happened when the genetics of the Neanderthal got spliced into wolf genetics, which got spliced into rodent and rabbit genetics, and that is what gave you the domesticated dog breeds that you see today. Okay? This is what gave you your domesticated dog breeds today. Your little fucking mutated toy dogs, okay, that have rodent and rabbit DNA. They spliced the wolf's genetics with rodent and rabbit DNA and gave you your bullshit toy dogs, okay? And then they spliced the wolf genetics with Neanderthal and gave you your average domesticated dog that you see most of the time. Okay? All right? This is why the fucking domesticated dog doesn't want to go back to nature, all right, like the wolf, because the wolf is natural. You see this? I want everybody to see this. The wolf is natural. The wolf is a natural animal. All right? And if you capture a wolf, it's going to do what it can to go back to nature and back to its goddamn pack. Okay? All right? Why don't domesticated dogs do the same thing? It is because they are not of nature. They are genetically grafted and genetically spliced with Neanderthal, rodent, and rabbit DNA. Okay? All right? And this is going to be the first nail in the coffin for this video. All right? Because I'm going to have a plethora of them in this video. And this is the first nail in the coffin right here. Okay? This is a real animal This is a real animal, folks, called a pug rabbit. I believe it's called a pug rabbit. All right? The toy dog, the species of toy dog known as the pug, can mate and have a baby with a rabbit. All right? This can only happen if the rabbit and the pug share a portion of the same DNA. This can only happen if the rabbit and the pug share a portion of the same DNA. So what does that mean? To create the fucking toy dog pug that you see today, they had to get another domesticated dog that you see right here. All right? They had to get a domesticated dog like a mastiff or a bulldog, and they had to splice the fucking genetics with a goddamn rabbit to give you your smaller toy dog known as a pug. Wake the goddamn hell up, you damn fools. We have been brainwashed in a society where we are told that dog is man's best friend, and the dog is godly, and the dog knows how to sense evil people. And if a dog bites you and mauls you and kills you, it's not the dog's problem, it's your problem. Okay? The domesticated dog is nothing but a mutated beast, a mutated, genetically recessive beast. All right? This is why, and even dog lovers and dog owners know this as a fact. If you put 95% of domesticated dog breeds up against a wild wolf in a fight, the wild wolf is going to win 99% of the time. Okay? Because these fucking species you're looking at are completely, utterly genetically recessive, and they are mutants, and the domesticated dogs are missing lobes to their brain. They are missing lobes to their brain, and they only operate off of animalistic impulsive instinct. They only operate off of animalistic impulsive instinct, and they are only loyal to those who feed them. And I'm going to prove that a little bit later. So stay tuned. So basically, all those pictures of people hugging and kissing their so-called man's best friend, guess what? That dog doesn't give a fuck about you, and it only is loyal and subservient to you because you're giving it food, you're feeding it. All the domesticated dog cares about is food, getting food by any means necessary. Okay? This has been proven. This has been proven through scientific forensic experiment. Okay? All right? So when we look at this in a nutshell, most society has been brainwashed to worship these mutants that contribute nothing to Earth's ecosystem. That's another thing I'm going to be proving, is that the domesticated dog contributes nothing to the Earth's ecosystem. You see, the wild wolf actually contributes to Earth's ecosystem, because the wild wolf hunts and controls the population of other plant eaters in the wild. The wild wolf hunts and eats the herbivores in nature. You see what I'm saying? These particular wolves play a big role in the ecosystem in whatever habitat they are in. All right? You can't say the same thing for these mutants. These mutants eat chemically altered food, okay? And they also, they eat raw flesh that has been chemically altered by Monsanto corporations, and it has been proven over and over again that the domesticated dog, their urine actually kills soil. Their urine and their feces kills and destroys the soil and the plants that have to endure it. Go do the research. Go do the research, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So you can't make the argument and say, well, there are periods of peace, in dog ownership. Not all dogs are evil. Not all dogs are attack dogs. Not all dogs are menacing mutants. But guess what? Guess what, folks? Even the most ferocious creatures in nature can be turned and trained to do what the trainer wants it to do. Even the lions, tigers, jaguars, and leopards can be domesticated to a fucking degree. Okay? If this lion wanted to, it could bite the goddamn head off of this woman right now. Right then and there. Okay? Just because there's periods of peace and tranquility that the beast, exudes, that doesn't mean a damn thing. That doesn't stop the mutant beast from being the mutant beast. Okay? You guys better wake the fuck up out of your slumber, because now I'm going to hit you guys with the documented facts. All right? There are approximately 90 million dog owners. There are 90 million dog owners in the United States. 4.7 million are going to report being bit by their dog. 4.7 million are, this is every year. All right? This is yearly. 4.7 million people are going to report being bit by a dog. All right? Now, 800,000, okay? 800,000 of these 800,000 people in the entire United States are sent to the ER from dog bites on a yearly basis. Go do the research. Go do the research, ladies and gentlemen. Go do the research. 800,000 every year are sent to the hospital because of a dog attack, of a domesticated dog attack. Okay? All right? This is the risk you are taking when you allow one of these mutants in your home. You see, this is another part of the mind fuck. When a wild cat known as a mountain lion or a cougar enters human society, all right, this Zionist warlock society, when a mountain lion enters the realm of the Zionist warlocks, the police are ordered to put the cougar or the mountain lion to death ASAP. They're ordered to tranquilize it and put it back in nature, or they're ordered to shoot it and kill it on sight. Okay? All right? This is the delusion. This is the delusion of Zionist warlock society. All right? So they'll kill and tranquilize the cougar or the the mountain lion on site, but they'll allow the mutated wolf to bite 800,000 people a year, okay? And they'll allow over 520 people to get murdered and killed by the domesticated wolf. You know, they'll allow over 520 people in the last 15 years, 530 people killed by domesticated wolves, and nothing be done about it. You know what I'm saying? No laws preventing any owners, all right, from being able to own the goddamn beast. You see what I'm saying? They'll allow over 520 people to be killed by these mutant beasts, but they will not for 1 second go in the government and pass laws to prevent people from owning the goddamn mutant beast. Do you see what I'm saying, people? Do you see how this makes this society look like a goddamn mental asylum? Okay, am I not living in a mental asylum in this fucking society of these fucking mutant lovers? These goddamn mutant lovers that love to defend their mutants instead of defending the defenseless children and innocent people that get attacked, mauled, and murdered by these creatures on a yearly basis. You see what I'm saying? Because even these sites, you know, they'll try to manipulate words and have different wordplay to try to defend the goddamn mutant beast. You see what I'm saying? And try to put blame on owners and children instead of the mutant beast. You see what I'm saying? So, according to the statistics, 1 out of 73 people will be bit by a dog, by a mutant beast every year. 1 out of 73. And even the bastards that operate Google say those are scary statistics. Even the bastards at Google say those are scary statistics. And you people think that we really live in a normal society. You think that dog ownership is normal. You think that the ownership of a mutant beast is normal. Okay? On my backup channel, on my backup YouTube channel, I showed the documented evidence that showed Dr. Duncan McDougall proved through separate experiments that your mutant beast canine has no soul. Okay? Dr. Duncan McDougall proved by weighing humans before and after death and weighing dogs before and after death that the dogs have no goddamn souls. All right? The domesticated dog has no soul. Okay? Because they are not of nature. They are the result of genetic grafting thousands of years ago. Okay? Okay? Plain and simple. Proven by Mr. Dr. Duncan McDougall. 21 grams. Okay? For all you mutant beast lovers. And this is going to be another nail in the coffin for these dog nuts, you know, that worship dogs like, you know, they're supposed to be on some kind of human level. Like, you know, we're supposed to be on the same playing field as a dog, as a domesticated dog. Guess what? You've been debunked, because there was a series of experiments conducted where these robots were given food in their arms and the dog was being fed by the robot over a period of time, and those particular dogs showed signs of being loyal and being happy around the fucking robot. Around the robot. Okay? Through forensic experiment, through a multitude of different dog breeds, they were given food by a robot and they became loyal to the goddamn robot. So don't tell me that, oh, dogs are very humane. Dogs are very loyal creatures. Very loyal. Very intelligent. Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay? BS. The dog is a mutated, recessive, a genetically grafted beast, and it only remains loyal, and its only concern is to obtain more food. Okay? Flat out. Flat out. They will remain loyal to anything that feeds it. All right? And let me tell you why the domesticated dog is so fucking concerned about food, and why the domesticated dog is constantly hungry. Always hungry. Hungry, 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 hungry. The dog never seems to be satisfied after eating a meal. Well, let me explain something to you. When your intestines are infested with flea larvae, hookworms, roundworms, whipworms, heartworms, you know what I'm saying? That means these worms are feeding on the dog so much to where the dog constantly has nutrients being robbed from it. The dog constantly has nutrients that are being robbed from it by the parasites on its body and in its body. So when it consumes the food, the fucking roundworms and all of the other worms in its system are eating that food. So the dog isn't getting all of the fucking nutrients from the food that it's eating because of it sharing the food with the parasites in its body. So this is why the dog is constantly hungry and constantly looking for the next meal. Okay? All right? And there's a notion going around that dogs are somehow just as smart as humans, and just as smart as a 2-year-old or a 4-year-old child. Folks, that is utter garbage, utter bullshit. This is how many neurons are in a domesticated dog's brain. 500 million. The domesticated dog has 500 million neuron connections in their brain. So let's see how much neurons are in an infant baby's brain. An infant baby, an infant human baby, in a newborn baby human has 100 billion neuron connections in their brain, which means a baby human has 200 times more neuron connections in their brain than a fucking adult dog. A infant baby is 20 times more mentally developed than a domesticated dog. You fucking idiot dog nuts. You idiot dog loving dog nuts. You fucking mutant lovers. Okay, take that one. Oh, like I said, I don't own cats. I don't own any cats at all. I wouldn't consider myself a cat lover because I'm mostly a human lover, okay, more than anything. But a cat's brain has 763 million neuron connections, and that is more than the neuron connections in a dog brain. So it's already public knowledge that cats are smarter than dogs. Okay? All right? And in the adult human brain, guess what? In the adult human brain, we're supposed to have just as many neuron connections in our brain as the stars in the galaxy. We're supposed to have just as many neuron connections in our brain that the stars, okay, that the stars are of the galaxy. So basically, the same amount of stars that are in the Milky Way, that number is supposed to equal the amount of neuron connections in our brain. Okay? As above, so below. You got between 100 and 400 billion stars in the galaxy. You're supposed to have between 100 and 400 billion neuron connections in the human brain. Okay? Dog urine is bad for grass. All right? Bad for plants. Bad for soil. Because they are unnatural creatures. They are unnatural creatures, and they do not contribute to anything positive to the Earth's ecosystem. All right? All right? Because they do not eat pests. They are not going, these domesticated dogs are not going out and eating rats and eating other pests out in nature, or that are a hindrance to the ecosystem. No, they're not. They are eating genetically altered and chemically altered food. All right? Which is causing their waste to be harmful and hazardous to the fucking ecosystem. All right? All right? And then we have this fucking culture, you know, where it is great to embrace sexual relationships and intimate relationships with these mutant beasts. These fucking mutant beasts. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And I believe a lot of our politicians are involved in this behavior as well. And this is why these particular people cater to these canines. All right? This, you know, this Caucasoid ruled society, is basically built to cater to the needs of the mutant beast, because the mutant beast is grafted with Neanderthal genetics. All right? If you mix a Neanderthal with a wolf, you get a domesticated dog. Okay? It's no secret. It's no secret. All right? It's no fucking secret. And then we have, of course, we have to have Hollyweird. We have to have Hollyweird promoting bestiality. You know what I'm saying? With cartoons and movies like Beauty and the Beast, you know, we have to have this fucking culture where it is cool to have intimate relationships with animals that are lower than us on the conscious spectrum. You see, we got other, you know what I'm saying, cartoons and shit, you know, trying to make it look normal, trying to make it look like the domesticated dog is supposed to be part of the family. He's supposed to be one of the guys, one of the boys. Everything the human can do, the dog can do as well. Bullshit. Bullshit. Okay? The domesticated dog is a mutant that is hazardous to human society and the function of humanity. And I'll tell you what, the domesticated dog is actually ruining the connection between humans. The domesticated dog is ruining the connection and the relationships between humans. Because how many relationships do you know that were ruined over a goddamn mutant beast? How many relationships and lives do you know that were ruined over these goddamn mutant beasts? Okay? And I know this sounds harsh, but I don't give a damn. I wish that I can go back in time in 2005 and 2004 and help Michael Vick's family exterminate more of these fucking mutant beasts. I wish Michael Vick's family would have exterminated more of these mutant beasts. Okay? Okay? Our ancestors told us what the domesticated dog really was. The domesticated dog was the hellhound, was known as the hellhound, okay? This is why the ancient Egyptians, out of all the animals to choose to be the god of the underworld, they chose the canine. They chose the canine, okay? So you know what that means. You know what that means? Out of all the gods, out of all the animals to choose to be the god of the underworld, they chose the canine. They chose the fucking dog. Hello, folks. The hellhounds. All of the movies, even the goddamn vampire movies, told you what the fucking canine really was. They told you they were really the hellhounds, and you still didn't fucking listen. You still didn't listen. So Hollywood told you in some of the movies, and our ancestors told you the real identity of these fucking canines, and you still don't want to listen. And you still don't want to listen. And to answer people's questions, wild wolves are of nature. Australian dingoes, the dingoes are of nature. The dingo is just a wolf of the warmer climate. The dingo is the wild wolf of the warm, hot climate. Okay? The dingo is the hot climate wolf. The dingo is natural. The wolf is natural. The African dog is natural because the African dog was obviously spliced with hyena genetics. Or, you know what I'm saying, or closely related to that hyena. Okay? These are natural animals in nature. Do not try to associate this with a domesticated dog. They're two totally different species, two totally different groups, two totally different species. Okay? A wild wolf is natural, a dingo is natural, and a wild African dog is natural. These mutant beasts, these fucking mutant beasts right here are not natural. Okay? They serve no purpose to the earth. They serve no purpose to nature. They serve no purpose to the goddamn ecosystem. All right? They are straight up demons. And even you Christian nuts should already know this. Okay? You calcified Bible-toting Christians should already know about the hellhounds, because it also refers to them in your so-called good book. Go check that out. Go check that out. Okay, I'm done debating. I'm done arguing over this subject. A lot of people gave me backlash for this Instagram post, but I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Okay? My job is to relay the truth by any means necessary and to undo the centuries of mindfucks and the centuries of brainwashing that humanity was forced into. I have to undo it. Okay? And a lot of people were taking personal shots at me because of the way I went about relaying this information on social media. Okay? And part of only a little piece of what they said was true. I did have a situation where my life was endangered by one of these domesticated dogs. In 1996, when I was 4 years old, my dad got into an argument with another person in a public park. And my dad's friend was with my dad, and my dad's friend had a Rottweiler, okay, named Max, and the person that was arguing with my dad had a Doberman Pinscher. The Doberman Pinscher was acting irate, uncontrollable, overly aggressive, and it broke free from its owner's leash. And out of all the people to attack, it tried to go after me. It chose me. About, I want to say, 5 to 6 feet before it could get to me, the Doberman Pinscher was grabbed by the neck by the Rottweiler named Max, and the Rottweiler shook the Doberman Pinscher uncontrollably, and that is when my dad and my dad's friend subdued the Doberman Pinscher. Okay, so that was the first situation that went on between me and domesticated dogs that I feel was a pretty negative situation. You know what I'm saying? And gratefully, you know what I'm saying, by the universe's will, it was able to play out like that. But you see, most dog nuts are going to say, oh, the Rottweiler, it did save your life, and it was doing that to save your life. Now that I know what I know about domesticated dogs, the Rottweiler did that because the Rottweiler felt threatened. The Rottweiler did that because the Rottweiler felt threatened. I just happened to be there. And if the Rottweiler wasn't there, the cowardice Doberman Pinscher would have went after the weakest target at that time, which was me. That's another thing about these beast mutants, is they usually attack the weakest, defenseless victim in their vision. If you notice that about these mutant beasts, they go after the weakest target in their division. In their vision. Okay? Which means that not only are they genetically recessive mutant beasts, and they're missing lobes to their brain, so they operate 100% off of animalistic impulsive instinct. They're also cowards. They're also coward mutant demons that go after the elderly, the defenseless, and the weak over stronger opponents. Like I said, completely disgusting animal. Completely disgusting animals. And like I said, I'm not going to go out and try to harm one of these creatures, you know what I'm saying, for nothing. But I'll tell you what, if I woke up tomorrow and all these creatures were vanished by nature, I wouldn't lose no goddamn sleep. I wouldn't lose no sleep because I know my history. You see what I'm saying? And I know what my ancestors told me. So with all that being said, that's all I really had to say on this topic. I hope this was informative and this was, able to answer most people's questions about this topic. I also would like for people to go out and to purchase weapons to be able to defend yourself from these mutant beasts, so you don't end up becoming a statistic. All right? When the domesticated dog fears you and barks at you, that means that you're vibrating on a higher frequency than what the demon beast can recognize. When the demon beast can't recognize a certain frequency or vibration, they get very afraid. They get very afraid of that. So when nature is getting ready to express its will, and when an earthquake is coming, the dogs get really scared. The dogs get really scared. You see what I'm saying? You see? Because they can't recognize the frequency. They're afraid of the frequency. So when the dog behaves in a fearful, angry, aggressive manner against you, that means that it can't recognize your frequency. When the dog is friendly to you, when the dog seems friendly to you, that means that you are vibrating on that fucking hellhound's frequency. It's that simple. So I'm not going to be, overly long-winded on this. I want everybody to subscribe to the YouTube channel called I Hate Dogs. Everybody go subscribe to the YouTube channel called I Hate Dogs so you can get more documented evidence that backs up what I was stating in this video. I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's the Chosen One, man. I'm out.